A base that looks like a simple starter shack from the outside. But with just one click, it turns into a full-on killing machine. And even if you don't have turrets yet, this base will still surprise you. Why? Watch this. The first floor is built in a spiral layout. Just to go through all the garage doors on the first floor, you're already looking at around 20 rockets. And that's actually insane, especially considering how cheap this base is to build. I made 2 separate entrances, so it's much harder to door camp you, and if someone tries to online raid you, yeah, I've got something for that too. I even managed to fit a micro shell into this small base, which makes defending it way more comfortable. I also used the new HQM hatches to seal off blown doors from below. And this base has a lot more tricks. I can't wait to show you everything inside. And if you want to order a custom base, you can do it through my Telegram bot. Link is in the pinned comment. Prices are fair and orders are delivered quickly. This video almost didn't make it on time. I recently got into a scooter accident here in Thailand, which I talked about on my Telegram. You can read more about it there, but I'm recovering. Drop a like to help me heal faster, and let's get into the base. Just like with my previous base, you can add a compound to this one as well, but it's not a must. The base is already strong on its own. The entrance is made from 2 different sides, and you can funnel anyone into these shotgun traps. And if something starts going down near the entrance, you can join the fight right away. That's a huge advantage if you live in a high traffic area. You've got shooting angles from 3 different sides, so if you pick a busy spot, this base will farm you a lot of loot. On the second floor, you'll have a bunch of turrets, a bunch of furnaces, and you can even open external garage doors through the wall with turrets hidden behind them. Ideally, you hook everything up to Rust Plus and open all garage doors with a single button on your phone. The second floor is fully circular, similar to 4x4 shell bases, just scaled down so you don't have to grind for a week to build it. The base has 3-way symmetry, but only 2 actual entrances. The third side is used for a combat spawn that's only accessible from inside. Right across from it, there's a jump up to the next level. You can think of it as an attic. Another full combat spawn plus a good amount of downward peaks. It's a great place to store grenades, HVs, and other PvP stuff. I also used the new HQM hatches here. If someone starts raiding you online through doors, you open the hatch. Now you've got a shooting angle downward, and they can't progress further until they deal with the hatch. And an HQM hatch has the same raid cost as an HQM door, so if you reach this stage, it's a really solid defensive upgrade. To go down a level, you first need to open the bunker. To open it, you break this wooden ceiling piece. To close it, just place it back. Near the bunker, you've got a loot room with a large battery, and from this angle, you can see everything else. From the outside, it's 2 walls to this core from every side, and there's a solid amount of storage here. TC upkeep is right in front of you, and I'm sure you'll be able to build this base pretty quickly. If you have extra resources after finishing the base, I highly recommend adding this compound. It boosts your offline protection and gives you a lot of extra space to hide loot from careless raiders. The upkeep for each external TC is right here, and you'll have 3 of them. Each one is protected by 7 rockets, meaning it takes 21 rockets just to grief all of them. Since the base follows a 3-way symmetry, you'll also have 3 entrances into the compound. Each one has a simple airlock, a window to check your external TC, and of course my favorite, inward peaks. These are extremely useful if your high external walls get broken and you need to defend hard. You just need to be in the right place at the right time. If we go further and open these doors, you get another airlock. You can't push through while the door is open, and if some smart naked tries to run around on your roof, it's not gonna work. Where the original entrance used to be, there's now a mini farm. You can replace it with extra loot room, a combat spawn, whatever you want. But if you do go with a farm, you can place water catchers here and a water barrel below. That way water flows down naturally and you don't even need electricity for a pump. And the main entrance to the base itself hasn't changed at all. And if you don't even care about online defense, I've got something for you too. My new 51st private base just dropped on Patreon. It's actually cheaper to build than the one I just showed, but at the same time it has 3 bunkers in different parts of the base, a brutalist peak without the brutalist skin, HQM stashes, and all of that is built off a simple 1x1 Chinese bunker. And for just $7.50, you get access not only to this base, but to all 51 private guides I've already published for any playstyle. Link to my Patreon is in the description. Subscribe now, you won't regret it. This base turned out very idea driven, so it doesn't make much sense to build it far from points of interest. I'd recommend placing it somewhere along a naked highway, for example on the path from spawn to outpost. If there's a small forest near outpost and you build this base there, the sound of free loot won't take long to show up. And once you get to the spot where you plan to build it, you can immediately start placing the foundation layout like I do, just to make sure everything fits. But honestly, the base is pretty compact, so you shouldn't have issues with space. I'm building the final version right away, but at the start you can do everything in stone. The area with the main TC should ideally be upgraded to HQM. The base is fully symmetrical, so from the outside it's impossible to tell where the TC is, and even in this starter setup you'll have everything you need to survive. If 4 furnaces is too much early on, just place 2 and add another large box instead. Now let's look at how this feels from a player's perspective. At the beginning there's no airlock. If you need one, just add an extra door outside right away. If you've got spare resources, you can also add another door to the TC room. Any extra resources you get early should go into upgrading the entrance. The faster you finish that, the sooner you unlock access to the second floor. Pay attention here. In the center, I've got a frame for a triangle hatch. This is for the future bunker, and I'll show how it works in a bit. Don't accidentally place a ceiling here. This is also your path up to the 3rd floor, so don't mess this part up. Once you've got access to the 2nd floor, on this side we start preparing the future bunker, place boxes, set up space for a large battery, and close everything off with walls. For now, the jump up is done using a triangle roof. You can also use a half wall instead. That's preference. And if you've built up to this point, you can already consider that you have a bunker. To close it, take a spiral staircase and place it like this. If you upgrade it to HQM, keep in mind it's very expensive. One close costs 25 HQM. That's not really worth it, especially if you're only leaving the base for a short time. Closing the bunker for the night is a must, but while you're actively playing, farming, fighting, you can leave it in metal. And before we continue, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who watches, likes, and comments on my videos. You asked me to make a cheap base for players who don't have much time to play, and this is exactly what I'm showing you now. Also, big thanks to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Because of you, my videos have no mid-roll YouTube ads and no shady sponsors. Make sure to drop in the comments what kind of base you want to see next. I'm thinking about building a base inspired by some YouTuber. Got any ideas who it should be? This is where the microshell starts. From the outside, this floor is symmetrical, but inside it's not mirrored on every side, so it's easy to mess up. On the left and right, you've got single door frames at the bottom. Above them, you place a triangle hatch frame and later a hatch. Keep the hatch open and it creates an airlock below. Now move to the other half and repeat the same setup. Triangle HQM hatches are insanely strong, so use them as soon as you get them. Next, place half walls all around this floor. And here's a very important part. If you're planning to use a wind turbine, you need to prep it right now. Just place the ceilings exactly like I do. Once that's done, your windmill setup is ready, and now you just need to place slanted roofs around the perimeter. Where you've got square ceilings, place square roofs, and on the corners between triangles, use triangle roofs. After you finish placing all the roofs, you can break the half wall inside that you used for support. It doesn't serve any real purpose anymore, and it's better to use that space for large boxes. Now we move to external defense, since the inside is already secured. Here you place a triangle foundation buffer and put a turret on it once you have one. Place garage doors with the soft side facing inwards so you can open them from the second floor. Now repeat this on all 3 sides. The low wooden rails I place here are important. You should place and upgrade them too, since they help protect against rocket splash. Now look, on this side you'll have a combat spawn, and on this side, the main entrance. This isn't just an entrance but also extra shooting angles. From here you can control the area around your base before you even have a compound. Under these roofs you can also place small boxes with useful items. On the sides place full walls, and in the center a square roof. The jump up into the base is done using furnaces. From here we move to the left side, but notice there's no entrance here. This is another combat spawn, accessible only from inside. That's intentional, so nobody can randomly get into this room. This is your main combat spawn, aside from the one in the micro shell. On the third side you make the same entrance as before, same shooting angles, same square roof in the center. And at this point the base itself is basically complete. Now we move on to building the compound, starting from the side with your external turrets. And if you want to practice building this base or any design you come up with, you can always use my Rust Room build servers. They're free and open to everyone. But if you want Q-skip, custom biomes, rocket cannons, MLRS launches, increased limits, and more, go to Patreon and get the VIP subscription. You'll not only get VIP on my servers, but also access to 50+ private base guides I've already published. All links are in the pinned comment and description. And we've just finished building the simplest 7 rocket external TC. In the center, it's better to place a garage door instead of a regular door. That way the rate cost through doors and walls stays consistent. As a final step, connect everything on top using these square frames, and that's it. 1 external TC is done. Now you just repeat the same thing on the other 2 sides. These are just placeholders for the future compound. The compound itself isn't there yet, but we're about to fix that. Where your main entrance is, place another square foundation and add 3 triangles to it. This is where your mini farm will go. 3 triangle planters, and you can also stack a bunch of wall planters if you have the jungle DLC. And honestly, if you're thinking about which DLC to get, jungle is a solid pick. You get barrels, shelves, a lot of useful stuff. With wall planters, the efficiency of this mini farm basically doubles. And that's not even counting the fact that you can pack them much tighter. Once you're done here, move up top and prepare a spot for a future turret. If you don't have a turret yet, no problem. Just make the setup for it now. And since the base is symmetrical, repeat the same thing on the other 2 sides. You don't have to build the farm on all 3 sides. You can do it on one side and use the other 2 for furnaces or another combat spawn. It doesn't really affect defense. Next, move to the compound entrance setup. Here you want to add inward peaks into your compound. It's done like this, and slightly above this spot there will also be a turret. I covered the turret with slanted roofs so nobody can run around on top of your base. These floating frames are for future metal barricades that we'll place here later. In this spot, you need to protect both window frames. The triangle roof here helps the turret get better angles inside the compound. You can also fit a small box under these roofs. Great for storing stuff you might need during online defense. As a final step, place the turret here, and one side is done. And if you've got any questions about this base or any other design from my channel, you can always reach out in my Telegram channel. There are already 600 plus builders there, and if they don't help, me or my team definitely will. All the links are in the pinned comment. Now that all the external parts of your compound are ready, it's time to place the metal barricades, and they're placed in a pretty unusual way. You'll see what I mean. For the whole compound, you'll need 15 metal barricades, so don't recycle your metal blades or you might run into problems later. Remember that floating frame I placed earlier? That's exactly what allows the barricade to hang in the air, otherwise you simply can't place it here. You might be thinking, why even bother placing it like that if it works fine normally, but this setup gives you much better coverage. Once you've placed it on one side, the rest will be easy to repeat. The only thing that can mess you up here is running out of metal blades. And before we continue, I want to give a special thanks to this guy for the huge support on Patreon. Also big thanks to all my other Patreon subs and YouTube members. It's only because of you that I can keep doing what I do.